that the first thing we wanted to talk about would be the Terminator sequel. So,
Mm.
Paul, why don't you kick us off? What is going on with the Terminator sequel, my friend? James Cameron's in the news.
He's announced that he was working on a new script for it, but he wants to see what happens with AI and go from there. It's like, come on, mate. What? Just write it. Like AI, you can pretty much predict where it's going to go anyway. It's going to steal
Have the
everyone's
AI
job.
write it. Have it
Then,
ChatGPT write it for
yeah,
you.
yeah. Maybe that's what he meant. I'm just seeing where AI goes, and if I can hand it off to that, then I don't need to do any work. But yeah, just like you can kind of predict where it's going to go. We're probably not going to get nukes coming in. I think AI is probably just going to steal all our jobs, everything we love doing, like drawing, writing scripts, things people enjoy doing creatively. That's going to get taken away. So yeah, James, just get to it. It might be the right last script ever written in Hollywood. But you know what? This entire movie kind of hinges, for me personally, on whether John Connor's going to be in it. Because I rewatched Dark Fate the other week. I've been doing a Terminator retrospective on the channel, doing the first film. The breakdown of that's coming up very soon. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to watch Dark Fate. Didn't like it at the time. I thought, times, it heals all wounds. We'll see what happens with it. Straight away, as soon as they kill John Connor, I was like, yeah. So I don't just James Cameron. Yeah, he obviously can make good movies, big ones as well. He makes massive events, which Avatar's just shown. But I don't know if we need another one. We really don't.
It's a franchise that just never seems to go away. And Terminator 2 is Terminator 2 one of your favorite movies of all? It fluctuates for
Yeah.
me as it definitely one of the most influential in my life. And
Mm.
that and The Matrix are I'm constantly fluctuating between which one is my all-time favorite movie.
Yeah.
And so Terminator 2 and there was a time where you said James Cameron in Terminator, that meant good news, where
Yeah.
he endorsed Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, and
He's
we were
endorsed
like,
them all. Yeah.
no, Genesis. It was
Yeah.
Genesis is the word he
Genesis.
endorsed. And then I went like, okay, this must be great. And then it wasn't. And then he was obviously involved with the producing and the story development and did a whole like Q&A with Tim Miller before they even started filming for Dark Fate. So I was like, here we go. Terminator back on track. And then the first 10 minutes, I was like, what is this movie? You're kind of breaking my heart here. And
Yeah.
now to hear he's writing it, and I'm kind of getting a bit of like a season of the witch vibe of Halloween franchise
Mm.
if he's not focused on even the things to do like a bunch of Terminator movies that are about a Terminator and robots and stuff, and then to at least present how he wants to go about it with this AI angle and not really focus on the machines. I don't know. It sounds like a completely different franchise. It sounds more akin to when Ridley Scott was like, "I'm doing an Alien prequel," and then it wasn't an Alien prequel; it was Prometheus, and he wanted to just keep it like that. So this doesn't even sound like it's going to be a Terminator film to me. Like you need certain earmarks of it, but it's James Cameron, so we'll see how it goes, right?
The problem is with all the Terminator stuff is that every sequel after T2 is kind of doing its own thing. Like Terminator 3, Judgment Day is happening, mate. You didn't avoid it. Salvation, we're in the future war. Okay, baby, I'm down with that. Genesis, no, let's go back to what originally worked, but we're gonna change things up from that original movie and go in a slightly different direction. And then Dark Fate as well. That's just this whole other reboot thing. That what my big problem with Dark Fate was rewatching it is that they crap so much over those first two films, but they also rely so heavily on them. So all the good moments in them are with Arnie and Linda Hamilton. It's
Yeah.
like we that's the past. Get rid of it. It's rubbish. You want these new people that you can't even remember the names of. I think it was Danny and Grace was the character. So to be fair, I can remember the names of them. But it's like get rid of those old ones, but also build the plot heavily around them. They have to be in every scene. Once Linda Hamilton shows up, we need an old character in every scene. So it's kind of like it's very misguided, and it's almost just rehashing the elements of the past and after crapping all over them. And when I was watching it, I was thinking, why would I invest in this person when 10 years down the line, another director could come along and go, well, Danny, she's going to get killed in the first 5 minutes, so you don't care anymore. So it's
Yeah.
just kind of, it just kills the whole franchise for me. I mean, John Connor, everything was built around him. And like I said, if James Cameron focuses that next movie around John Connor, we'll see how I do. We'll see if I get on board with it. But I
You know,
just don't have faith in the guy. I think
we,
it'll be a totally different movie named Terminator, like you said. Sort of a
yeah,
Prometheus thing.
like it's funny when it reminded me of the Dark Fate comparison of the experience of that, because you covered Alien 3 on your channel recently. This channel right here, you covered Alien 3 and how they killed off Hicks and Newt at the very top of that film, and that was such a blow because that was that Alien 3 came out not like there's definitely not a gap like how there was between T2 and Dark Fate was being pitched as the real Terminator 3. And I was thinking if that really did come, if Dark Fate did come out like shortly after Terminator 2, can you
Yeah,
imagine just how much more pissed off people would be about it? But at the same time,
crazy.
I was thinking Arnold, he's not going to. He has stated that he doesn't want to return. Like he really believes the
Good.
audience doesn't care for him to return. He just wants to do 5 seasons of Fubar and then leave
Hmm.
it at that. And the other thing that was really beloved, even though it wasn't a hit, the one that was most beloved was actually the Sarah Connor Chronicles. And I haven't seen any of that, but I know it's
It's
got a
good.
really good fan. Have you seen it? Is that good? Because
Yeah,
if they
I
were able
saw
to
the first
succeed,
season.
it was good. All right, sweet. Well, there's a hope for Terminator to be still succeed without Arnie.
Yeah. I
Awesome.
think they should get John Connor for it. Not John Connor. What the hell am I talking? John Cena. John Cena. Very
Oh,
similar to John Connor. But yeah, get John Cena to play the Terminator. He's got the build. He can pull off the comedy stuff. He can pull off the threatening stuff. Get the guy as a Terminator. If Arnie's not going to do it, John Cena's my man.
just
Picking
make
him
it
now.